everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside. And by golly, we're ready to go with more action coming up here on Championship Wrestling today,
I tell you, opening match today. Looks like we're going to have Norvell Austin in here to go against Eric Embry. Should be a fine single match to get things going on Championship Wrestling. Then, later on, we'll have Sweet Brown Sugar and beautiful Bobby Eaton teamed up with going against Rick McCord, and Tom Maley will be his partner. Dutch Mantell and Roy Rogers working as a tag team today against Tojo and the Invader, and 8-man tag action schedule for the expiration of time match. And this one, the Monk and the Angel, Crazy Lou Graham, Dream Machine on one side of the ring. On the other, it'll be Stan Lane, the Gibson brothers, and Danny Davis. That should be some kind of match.
Boy, that's some kind of expiration of time match indeed, Dave. And, of course, then there's always those little surprises.
Yes.
We'll just have to wait and see. We hope not too many of them. We're going to be back with the opening bout for you in just one moment.
Limit match coming up here. Introducing first from Memphis, Tennessee at 229 pounds. On the left of your screen, Norvell Austin. Going against him, 227 pounds from Cloverport, Kentucky, Eric Embry. This match one fall 15-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun is the referee.
Okay, the rope's coming off, and Eric, I think we're seeing for about our second time here on Championship Wrestling. Norvell Austin, his opponent. Here we go. Good single match underway, Davey.
Eric, we saw, I believe it was last week on Championship Wrestling, we saw him for the first time as part of a 6-man tag team. Here today, wrestling as a single against tough Norvell Austin. Embry with the headlock, spins around, leg dive, takes Austin off his feet down to the mat. Looks like he's got a face lock on it. Austin breaks out of it. Good move by Norvell. Pulls that arm up behind the back. Embry, what a move. Boy, he countered him. And again, Norvell Austin on the mat. Embry's got Austin's legs tied up. A little extra pressure. Pulls him forward. Norvell trying to get to the ropes. He grabs the bottom rope, pulls himself underneath. And referee Jerry Calhoun calls for the break. Eric Embry backs away. Clean break. Austin back on his feet. A one-fall only match. 15 minutes the overall time limit. Lots of action to follow today. Norvell with a takedown. Round behind Eric Embry. Embry sits out of it. Gets around behind Norvell. Austin moving. Getting out of the hole. Referee stepped in between them. Austin back up on his feet. Minute 50 seconds gone. 150 has expired in this opening match of the day. Oh. Wow, what a move by Eric Embry. He brought the foot up, kicked Norvell in the back of the head with the top of his boot. Austin a bit stunned by the move and the boot, too, for that matter. Back to the center of the ring. Embry with a headlock. Norvell forces him back to the rope, whips him across the ring. Both of them going with the ropes. Embry lets it go by, waits for him, rolls him over down to the mat. Austin came after him, and Embry put him back on the mat again. Bars the left arm. That's Norvell Austin on the mat. Eric Embry out of Cloverport, Kentucky. In control. 3 minutes gone. 3 minutes into the action. Dave Brown with Lance Russell here at ringside. Boy, coming up a little bit later today. Sweet Brown Sugar teamed with beautiful Bobby Eaton in tag team action. And then later on, an 8-man tag team match, 4 on either side of the ring. Almost a ton of talent in the ring for that one. Short arm scissors applied by Eric Embry to Norvell Austin's left arm. Austin trying his best to kick out of it. Yeah, he does a flip. Shoulders are down. Count starts. Count of only one, and Eric Embry reverses him. Austin shoulders down. Count started by referee Jerry Calhoun. 1 count's all he got. Austin had no trouble in lifting the right shoulder off the mat. 3 minutes, 50 seconds gone. Eric Embry. Left arm barred as Norvell Austin is on his feet, but under pressure. Norvell reaching for the ropes. He's got the top one. Into the ropes they go, and referee Jerry Calhoun's going to be asking for a break. He does. Embry breaks it, turns quickly from being nailed across the back of the head by Norvell Austin. Embry round behind. Norvell, good move by Norvell. He reached through his leg, dropped Embry's feet out from under him. Embry with the drop kick, puts Norvell on the mat and goes for the face lock. Boy, great move there by Embry from off balance. He leaped into the air with that drop kick, nailed Austin, dropped him to the mat, and then Embry right on him. 5 minutes gone. 5 minutes into the first match. 15 minutes the overall time limit. Hip toss by Eric Embry. Norvell Austin laying on the mat. Left arm bar by Embry. Austin picks him up, tries to pick him up. Reversal and body slam by Embry. Embry takes him down. And Austin again is on the mat. Boy, we have seen some fantastic moves by Eric Embry here against Norvell Austin. We saw some first time we saw him, but it was in tag action. There were so many guys in there. It was kind of tough to sort out who was doing what. But Embry's looking good.
Yeah, no question about it today. Eric brings in good credentials. He's living up to them right now. Norvell Austin, a tough guy, though, Dave. There's no question about that. He's been there and been back.
Embry putting a twist on that arm. He's got it wrapped about a quarter turn. Austin picking Embry up. Embry presses him one. Ooh. Eric Embry comes up with the arm bar again. Boy, Norvell thought he had him going. He picked him up for a body slam. But instead, Embry kept moving and was able to press Norvell down to the mat. Got the 1 count. Embry really putting the heat on that left arm. He's been working on it this entire match. All 6 minutes, 35 seconds of it. 6:35 gone.
1 fall, 15-minute time limit, single match is our opener on Championship Wrestling. Norvell Austin on the left. Eric Embry circling around now.
Austin grabs the headlock on Embry. Embry with a suplex. Goes for the cover. He counts 1, 2. That's a 2 count. Norvell Austin kicks out of it.
Norvell timing the kickouts very well as he's using up the time to get a little rest in there. And then at that 2 count bang, he's kicking his way out. Again.
There again, this time. As he broke the cover, he fired Embry into the ropes, who went through the ropes, down onto the floor, but quickly back into the ring. He grabs that face lock again. 7 minutes, 45 seconds gone. Oh, reversal by Norvell on the whip. A backdrop. Norvell Austin drops with the arm. A cover. 1, 2. And it's a 2 count. Embry is able to kick out. Whip into the ropes. Norvell with a backdrop again on Embry. Norvell backs up a couple of steps. Drops with the upper arm, but Embry, it moves out of the way. It worked one time, but Embry moved before he got hit with it again. Referee steps in between them. He's trying to get the fist open from off the ropes. Norvell puts Embry on the mat. Count of 3, he got it. Eric Embry pinned by Norvell Austin. As Austin dropped him off the rope, got the shoulders down, held him there for the 3 count, and win in the match is going to go to Norvell Austin. 8 minutes, 28 seconds the time.
Yeah, that's a situation, Dave, where all wrestlers look to just totally cripple a guy in order to get a 1, 2, 3. What you got to do is stunning enough to where he doesn't have composure, to where he can kick out on the 2 or the 1 or whatever it may be on it. And that was the case there, where Norvell Austin, in fact, did stun Eric enough to where he was able to get the 1, 2, 3 open.
Get the 3 count. That's that experience of showing up there, too.
Saw the opening. Good, too. We're going to, right now, see if we can get the superstar out here. We want to talk to him about his shoulder situation and how he's been. I think many of you know that Billy Dundee has, in fact, had the ligament and muscle problem in there. Bill, by golly, you're looking with a big smile on your face, and we want to talk to you about the arm and have an update on it. But before we do, we do, in fact, have a tape, Billy, that I'd like to show. I think many of the people remember, but I think, and I know you do, but I would like to refresh those who don't remember or did not have the opportunity to see exactly the incident that took place regarding Billy's shoulder. Let's take a look.
You tell old Lance, you're going to be
All right. Wait a minute. Well, you all just stay back now. Let's not get into any fight.
I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. Hey, look, I want to talk to you. I'm on my knees. Let me ask you something, big boy. I hear so much hot air out here, but I want to ask you something. Why don't you come with the family? You need to be with the family, man. This is 1982, Dundee. 82. Jimmy.
All right, Jimmy. Let's get some help out here, can we? Martin, the first family, sure, coming off that post on it. Well, it takes 4 of you. 4 against 1. Yeah, you're great. You got to be America's great sportsman in there. 4 of you against 1.
Man, they're going to call him Dr. Hook when this is
okay.
over.
Can we get somebody out here to help us stop this thing? We were just talking, Billy, was telling me he'd watched that tape many times. He lived it in his mind a lot of times in there. When Sugar came down, boy, it just tore the muscles and the ligaments and everything else. The only thing, and if it's a compliment, please forgive me, I don't mean it that way, but you got to say for Hart, same kind of strategy he uses around the ring. They had it well planned. Oh, yeah. Jimmy diverted the attention to himself, running the mouth off. Eaton, as you pointed out, snuck around behind you right there and had Sugar ready to get up on the ring to where he could pop down there and get you on that shoulder, Bill.
That's right, Lance. And you said I had a little smile on my face when I walked over here. Well, I do, and I just want to tell you something. Coco Ware, Bobby Eaton, and Jimmy Hart. Now, I'm standing out here with my arm in a sling, and I'm going to be at every match you've had. I'm going to be there Monday night, and I'm going to sit beside Lance Russell. And the only thing that I know that you don't know is, do I need this sling or don't I? Now, you don't know if I need it, Hart and Ware. You don't know, brother, but you're going to find out. The day that it comes off, you're going to find out. Now, Lance says, what's the old saying? There's more ways to skin a cat than one. Well, Jimmy Hart, everybody said everything there's to say about you, and then some. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Hart. The day this comes off, you're going to be wearing it around your neck, Hart, and that's a promise. Now, think of this, Hart. You sit back there, because you'll be watching the monitor somewhere, and you think, does that little creep need this or don't he? Because that's what I can imagine he's sitting back there saying, do you think he needs it, Bobby? Do you think he needs it? Well, I'm going to tell you something, Hart. The day that I don't, you're going to find out firsthand. You'll be the first to know, Jimmy Hart, because this will be poked right in your face, and you're going to have your neck in one of them.
I love it. He won't have to ask any questions. He'll find out in a hurry. Okay, superstar Bill Dundee. And we're going to be back with more action right here on Championship Wrestling in just a moment. Back to Channel 3's Championship Wrestling action in the ring in just one moment. Boy, I'll tell you, Tuesday night, right there in the Louisville Gardens, you talking about a card. Well, in addition to such spicy things as having a special challenge match between Danny Davis and Jimmy Hart and Southern Tag Team match with Eaton and Sugar against Rick and Robert Gibson, The final conflict, my friend, the big main event, is going to be Dutch Mantell, Jerry the King Lawler, duking it out inside a ring enclosed with barbed wire. Let's bring him in here right now, the AWA Southern Heavyweight Champ, Dutch Mantell.
Well, first of all, Lance, I took a page out of Jerry Lawler's book and used it against him now. Lawler's not used to being on the downside of 3, but he found himself on the downside of 3 last Tuesday night in Louisville. And once again, I have this southern belt around my waist where it should have belonged the whole time. Now, Lawler is a great champion. 6 out of 10 years he held this belt, and he's found himself in an unusual situation. And like I said, he don't find himself on his back too many times. Out of this whole series of matches, I beat him 3 times, and I think I'm ranked on top of the wrestling world right now. But Lawler, I'm going to give you one more chance. The final conflict. Ring enclosed by barbed wire. Now, I don't like this match. This is Lawler's match because he had a match one time against some goof and he beat him. Now he thinks he can beat everybody in the barbed wire. Well, we're going to climb in there, and everybody knows Jerry Lawler is from Memphis, Tennessee. And everybody knows they don't have too many barbed wire fences in Memphis. But we're going to climb in there. And I'm going to stay away from that barbed wire, and I have a strategy, and my strategy is staying right in the middle of the ring because I'm not coming close to that barbed wire. Now, Lawler, he's made the statement that I get out of the ring and I do this and I do that, and he thinks that barbed wire is going to keep him in the ring. Well, it might keep me in, and it might not keep me in. But regardless of whether I'm in or not, Lawler, you're going to be looking me right in the face Tuesday night, and we're going after this one more time. I'm giving you one more chance and one chance only, and you better make it count. Tuesday night in the barbed wire, Lawler, I'll be looking at you.
One fall, 15-minute time limit. Tag team match coming up. In this one, in the ring right now, over on the right of your screen, at a total weight of 408 pounds, from Memphis, Tennessee, Tom Maley, and from Salem, Virginia, Rick McCord. On the other side of the ring, current holders of the AWA Southern Tag titles. A total weight of 448 pounds, from Union City, Tennessee, Sweet Brown Sugar. From Huntsville, Alabama, beautiful Bobby Eaton. Their manager, Jimmy Hart. His assistant, J.R. Jr., down at ringside. This is a one-fall, 15-minute time limit, and Jerry Calhoun is the referee.
Yowza, and the belts will be coming off. They are not at stake. Sugar and Eaton, the AWA Southern Tag Champions. Rugged team. Heavy favorites in this bout that they're going against young Tom Maley and Rick McCord. All righty, Eaton will be starting out. We're about ready for the action to get underway, and there it is. Nail time. Rick McCord out of the corner.
Jimmy Hart is messing up the USA. That is ridiculous. You'll be sorry for that. I'm telling you, man. I'm the great American hero, and you know it.
I saw one that said, "Help clean up America. Get rid of Jimmy Hart."
Got some letters to that effect in the last week or so,
Yeah.
too. Boy, McCord, he's moving. McCord and Maley have to be considered decided underdogs in this one. After all, they're going against the current holders of the tag team belts.
Because of all of the irritation it's created by the first family, and Eaton and Sugar in particular we are talking about, a lot of people quite often overlook the fact that this is an excellent tag team together. They both can go, and they have really melded together as an excellent tag team. Not only that, they both know how to do things that are going to benefit the cause, legal or not.
Yes, and don't hesitate to use
Sugar.
it.
McCord and Maley both have been coming along very, very well as we watched them in the last months, Dave.
Yeah, McCord is very fast. He has some good quick moves. He's caught there by Brown Sugar at body slam. That was a move as he got out of the way. Brown Sugar was in the air. There's a little hair pulling by Sweet Brown Sugar. Tag on Bobby Eaton. McCord trying to battle him back toward his corner. Eaton nailed him with a right hand. There's a knee called for and received.
You wait, baby. baby. New wave. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Woo!
A little double teaming going on as Brown Sugar climbed the rope and dropped down on Rick McCord. Round behind, Brown Sugar, he's got a hold at half face lock and half choke. He's letting that hold slip down off the chin. Bobby Eaton comes in with a double forearm. McCord off the ropes. He fires a right hand. He's battling these guys. McCord hung over the top rope. Jimmy Hart there, taunting him. Bobby Eaton, round behind, pulls the chin back. Bobby Eaton with Rick McCord on the mat. Oh, it drops with a lower leg across the small of the back. That's got to hurt the way he had that chin pulled up and the back bent. McCord rolling toward his corner. Going to have a tough time making much of a move there. Brown Sugar from behind. Back suplex. Brown Sugar has Rick McCord held on the mat. We're coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes gone in this tag team match. Rick McCord's been in there all the way for his team. Tom Bailey waiting in the corner, trying to get the crowd.
He has got to be from Memphis, Rick McCord. Look at the way he wrestles, man. He wrestles like Jerry Jarrett used to. Look at him.
Rick McCord up on his feet, but bombed by Bobby Eaton from behind. Now the forearm by Eaton. McCord was headed in the general direction of the corner, but prevented from getting there by Bobby Eaton. McCord trying to fight his way to the corner. He makes it, and here comes Tom Bailey. Eaton grabs him before he can actually get through the rope.
They look like Laurel and Hardy in the ring. Those guys look like the Smothers Brothers. I love it. Look at him.
5 minutes, 5 minutes gone in this when Eaton runs Bailey into the turnbuckles and then dumps him in the center of the ring.
Oh, I know he went to Buddy Fuller's wrestling school. Look at him.
Over to the corner. Tag on Sweet Brown Sugar.
Beautiful, Bobby. Great.
A driving power slam by Brown Sugar. Tag made and Bobby Eaton coming back in. Double arm. Eaton picking Bailey up. Drops him across the knee of Cocoa Ware Sweet Brown Sugar. A cover. Should be it. 1, 2, and 3. That is it. Well, it was just too much Sweet Brown Sugar. And beautiful Bobby Eaton for Tom Bailey and Rick McCord. Time on it was 5 minutes, 41 seconds. And the win goes to Sweet Brown Sugar and beautiful Bobby Eaton. Let's go over to Lance.
Okay. Sugar and Eaton, no surprise, they were favorites in the match over Bailey and McCord, and they did win.
Hey, my favorite when we go against Dundee and Lawler. Oh, baby. New wave, Russell, new wave. You know what? Let me say something first about it. These people would give me a little respect that look at that sign. Isn't that ridiculous over there? They're so sick. Let me tell you something, man. I want to say a little bit of something about my match coming up with Sergeant Danny Davis, man. Let me say something, Davis. I can come out here wearing an Army hat and call me Sergeant Jimmy Hart, but I'd be imitating you, wouldn't I, baby? And I'm not an imitator. And I can come out here and talk about my hurt hand, which has a fractured bone, but I'm not going to make excuses like the Lawlers and the Kerns and the Dundees and all these other little pukes around here. I am Jimmy Hart, the greatest thing in professional wrestling, the brains behind the First Family, which is the greatest thing in professional wrestling, and you or nobody else is going to take care of Jimmy Hart. We're on top of the world, baby. I'm going to show you how top we are, man. I stopped by 7-Eleven today, bought me a box of Cracker Jacks, and what was in it? A copy of my new record, We Hate School, brother. We are the greatest thing in the world. You know it, the people know it, and most of all, we know it, right, baby? So, Davis, come on down. I gave you a chance when your wife and your little kids up there were starving to death, brother. I took you into the family. I gave you excitement. I gave you enthusiasm, and I gave you the confidence to be a winner. But what did you do for me? You turned around and went with Sherry, the King Lawler. And since then, he hadn't won any matches either, baby. So you are a loser, and I'll prove it, baby. We are ready, aren't we, baby? We are ready, brother.
No, Lance. Yeah. Robert Gibson has had so many partners to back him up. Starting off with Stan Lane, Steve Kern, Dutch Mantell, Jerry Lawler, Dusty Rhodes, Tommy Rich, anybody he can get to back him up. We walked out to the ring, Sweet Brown Sugar, myself, with these Southern Tag Team belts, and when we left the ring, we walked back with the belt. So what happened now? His brother's back, his big brother, Ricky Gibson, the guy that Sweet Brown Sugar and myself, beautiful Bobby, injured. Now, Ricky Gibson, when we come to the ring this week, wearing these Southern Tag Team belts, and when you're looking across the ring at us, you're going to think way back in your mind, you're going to say, them are the two guys that injured me. Them are the two guys, Sweet Brown Sugar and Beautiful Bobby. Those are the guys that kept me out of action for so long. So, Ricky Gibson, and so, Robert Gibson, you've got your brother back. But I guarantee you, when Sweet Brown Sugar and Beautiful Bobby walk in the ring against y'all two, the Gibson brothers, when we walk out, we're still going to hold these Southern Tag Team Championship belts.
Oh, yeah.
Because it is New Wave 1982. Me and JR. Pick that stuff up, JR, and let's go,
Your
baby.
vocabulary
New Wave,
is
baby.
getting very
the First
limited.
Family forever.
I hear it.
You know, that was the most boring
take it
30
away.
minutes of the TV show I've ever seen in my life a while ago
I
out
don't
here
know
until we
what you
came out. This is
gave
the
Danny Davis, but I know you're giving me a headache, so if you guys will just get on out of here. Will you get out?
Come on, Sugar.
Okay. We're going to take time right now. And we got more action coming up. Woo! Dutch Mantell and Roy Rogers will be going against Yamamoto and the Invader. Right now we're standing with Danny Davis, Rick and Robert Gibson. We'll get to the Gibsons in just a moment. Danny, Jimmy Hart was out here.
What a loud mouth. He's at it again, isn't he? Come out here. You know, Hart is the kind of man who won't do nothing but tell nothing but lies. He come out here and he will tell everybody that he beat Danny Davis. That he's going all over the territory telling everybody that he's a better wrestler than I am, that he's a better manager than I am. Well, all these people out here are no different. They know that Jimmy Hart is a jerk. You are a wimp. You were born a wimp. You grew up to be a wimp, and you had never seen the day that you could beat me, Jimmy Hart. Now, I'll tell you, it is true. I did get beat last week, but it was because of the Dream Machine and Luke Graham. Yeah. Now, it was not because of Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart did cover me, and I did get counted out. I'm not making excuses, but the fact remains, Jimmy Hart did not beat me. Jimmy Hart, you have never seen the day you could beat me, boy. And when I get my hands on you in that ring next week, I promise you, and I promise all these people out there, I'm going to squeeze his neck till his old ugly eyeballs pop out of his face, and you will never see him again around there. You know, he's got that J.R. Hart Jr. in the ring with him, right? Yeah. Well, that's okay. I don't want none of him. I want Jimmy Hart. And, I'm not concerned about pinning you, Hart. I'm concerned about cramming this right here, right down your throat, baby, and I'm going to do it, so help me.
Well, you hear what the folks would think about that. I like it. First, Rick, I want to say, how are you?
I feel good, Lance.
And, people have asked me and asked me and asked me, what about Rick? What's the condition?
Well, I'm feeling great, Lance. I had a speedy recovery thanks to the doctors and the old man upstairs, you know. I came out of it real good. I'd like to say I was hearing Hart and beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Brown Sugar out here mouthing off. Bobby Eaton said that he hurt me. Well, let me say, you haven't hurt me, and Sweet Brown Sugar hasn't hurt me. Hart was the man that hurt me when he came off the rope on me. Hart, you're the one that hurt me, not your two boys. Now, I'm back now at 110%. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling well, baby. So this week's going to be a different story. We're going to come out at 110% this week, and we're going to show the people, and we're going to show you, Hart, that we can defeat your boys.
Robert, you have seen this championship team of Eaton and Sweet Brown Sugar with Steve Kern, as a matter of fact, as a partner.
Yeah, Lance, I've had some good partners before, but I'd like to say I'm proud to have my brother back. We've been together now for 5 years,
And to me, Lance Russell is just like clockwork. We go out there, we're ticking just like clockwork. And Jimmy Hart, bring your boys out there because y'all got something that belongs to us. And that's in Southern Belts.
Be interesting. Okay, good luck to all of you in there. Right now, we're ready for some action. Davey, how about it? Let's get ready for the next bout.
We have a one-fall 15-minute time limit match coming up here. Another tag team match coming out right now. The Invader. The Invader wrestles under the mask. It doesn't have any eyes cut in it. I don't know how he sees, but anyway, he's stepping in there with his partner, Tojo Yamamoto. Their total weight, 427 pounds. Invader from parts unknown. Tojo, of course, from Japan. Going against him at a total of 441 pounds from Nashville, Tennessee, Roy Rogers, and his partner from Oil Trough, Texas, Dirty Dutch Mantell. This match is going to be one fall, 15-minute time limit match. Referees Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, out of the ring, the outside men go. That's Tojo and Dutch Mantell. Roy Rogers starting against the Invader in there. Dave, an interesting bout in that you have on one side of the ring Yamamoto and the Invader. We don't know that much about the Invader. We've seen him. Tojo, a veteran who has been there before, and of course on the other side of the ring, a similar situation. You've got Roy Rogers, and then with a lot more experience is the champion Dutch Mantell over there. So that's an interesting pairing in terms of breaking down experience and all. Roy tags the Dutchman. Some folks probably are thinking about Dutch being in there with Roy and the problems that Dutch has had with Lawler. But one thing I will say is that Dutch has made perfectly clear that his problems are with Lawler.
Right.
And that is all. He has no problems individually with anybody else, and he's in there as a tag partner, and there is no question about it. If you got to have a tag partner, brother, he's a good one. He is a good one. Dutchman takes Tojo over on a hip toss. Comes back with a standing side headlock, and Tojo shakes him right over the top on a leapfrog. And again, Dutch hooks him over the hip as Tojo, that powerful squat body, drives Dutch back, and there's a tag on the Invader. Dutch right away into a standing side headlock, tags Roy Rogers. Rogers comes in and lays a shot to the ribs. The referee warns him about it. And Roy takes him down to the deck with a side headlock. One fall, 15-minute time limit. And don't forget, as time allows, we've got that 8-man tag coming up. So don't you dare go away on this championship wrestling program. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside with another action-packed week of championship wrestling. Dutch, again, tags Roy Rogers. The Invader zinged in. Oh, Dutch. Sunset flip. Roy had trouble. 1, 2, 3. Got him.
Well, they were over there near the ropes, but the referee was right there. He was right on line, and he started that count, got the count of 3, and 2 minutes, 34 seconds. The time on it, 2:34.
Dutch blasted him down, and Roy came in, slid for the flip, and he almost didn't get him off his feet. Invader trying to battle his way out. Roy persevered, popped him back down, got the shoulders down for a 1, 2, 3, and the victory belongs to Mantell and Rogers. Action, we got more of it. 8-man, and we're going to check our time, see how much time we've got for that. Be back in a moment. All right, complete card coming up here on Channel 3's Championship Wrestling. Before we get into the Gardens Tuesday night, Thursday, April the 8th, Owensboro, Kentucky at the Owensboro Sports Center. Lights out match. Jackie Fargo's going to be there. Jerry the King will be there. Thursday, April the 15th, Tell City, Indiana at the Bryant Taylor Sports Center. 5 big matches. The Gibsons will be there. Lots of others going to be right there. Friday, April the 16th, Ferdinand, Indiana, Forest Park High. You're going to be looking at Stan Lane. The Dutchman will be there. Plenty of action coming up around the territory. Now, Tuesday night, the entire card reads Monk and the Angel against Eric Emery and Rick McCord. Jimmy Powell, Bobby Fulton, Chief Thundercloud against the Midnight Express. Danny Davis, Jimmy Hart, Jimmy and JR, as a matter of fact, in a special challenge match. Eaton and Sugar defending against the Gibsons. And then the big main event, final conflict, ring enclosed in barbed wire. Jerry the King Lawler, Dutch Mantell. They'll be doing it out for the last time.
Tag team match, a 6-man, not an 8-man, introducing at a total weight of about 660 pounds on one side of the ring. From Delray Beach, Florida, Stan Lane. From Pensacola, Florida, Robert Gibson. And from Jackson, Tennessee, Danny Davis. On the other side, at about 880 pounds, from France, the Angel. From New York City, Crazy Luke Graham. And from New Orleans, Louisiana, the Dream Machine. They have their manager, Jimmy Hart, at ringside. J.R. Jr. looks like he has the coats and capes, and he's headed back out of the wrestling area.
Boy, look at the beef on the ring closest to us.
Yeah, you've got all of them big guys. Dream, the Angel, and Crazy Luke himself at about 296.
Stan Lane starting out against the Dream.
Dream Machine out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Stan Lane, Delray Beach, Florida, and Dream Machine trying to hook that arm. Stan Lane put a move on it. Some of the finest moves that you will ever see are done by Mr. Stan Lane. Boy, he uses those legs. He can hook your legs, as he did with Dream Machine, drop your feet out from under you and have you on the mat and nothing flat. Stan Lane, Dream Machine. Looks like J.R. Jr. is returning to ringside here with his chair. Stan Lane wrapping up the left arm, put the twist on it.
Davis won't fit. Look at it. Come on, Davis, get your feet wet, boy. I heard a lot of hot air out here. Come on in.
Dream Machine makes the tag on the Angel, and here comes Danny Davis.
Woo! Midget, super midget. That's what I'll call him instead of Betty Davis.
Angel fires him into the ropes. Danny Davis, sunset flip on the Angel. One count is all he could get, but he had the Angel's shoulders down.
Come on, come on.
Davis giving away a lot of weight.
Calhoun?
Davis will weigh in about maybe 210. The Angel at about 250, 255. And here's big old Luke Graham, 296 pounds worth against Danny Davis. Davis with an arm bar. Crazy Luke fires him into the ropes. Davis almost knocked off his feet. He dives for Davis. Davis was gone. Long gone, as a matter of fact. We're coming up on the 2-minute mark here. Expiration of time match, 6-man tag action. That was a right fist, doubled up fist. Luke Graham just smacked Danny Davis with it. Here's Dream Machine in now. Dream Machine with a backdrop on Danny Davis. Picks him up by the hair. Reversal by Danny Davis. A backdrop on the Dream Machine, and he heads for the corner. Boy, the Dream tagged out real quick, too. He tagged the Angel. Robert Gibson against the big Angel. Robert ducks under that right arm. Drop kicks him down. The Angel rolls the shoulders down. Count of 1. Gibson keeps moving. He's got a headlock. He's to the corner and tags Stan Lane.
Look at him. Two of them on the ground. Look at that, man. Can you believe that?
Stan Lane shoulders down as the Angel went for the reversal. He didn't get it as Lane quickly got back to his feet. Angel makes the tag. Here is Luke Graham.
Look, Davis don't even want in the ring, man. I beat him.
Luke trying to make the tag. He couldn't get the tag. Has to stay in there as Stan Lane hangs on. Now Graham works his way over to the corner and gets the tag on the Dream Machine.
Come on, Davis, get in the ring, baby. Look at
Dream Machine. Dumped onto the mat by Stan Lane. Stan Lane.
He don't want none of me. Look at Davis.
Walking round and round the ring, battling the Dream Machine. He's got a headlock on him. He makes the tag. Here's Danny Davis. Davis fires Dream into the rope. Backdrops him.
stop to this. Come here.
The Angel in there. Jimmy Hart says he's putting a stop to it. I don't know. He's making a little speech to all of them. The Angel stays in there. Stan Lane chasing Jimmy back around to the corner. The Angel with that big right arm pounding Danny Davis down to the mat.
The magic and enthusiasm of Jimmy Hart. Now, you just saw it happen, brother, because we are ready
Davis
now.
fired into the rope.
Come on,
He
Danny,
got him with a
Danny.
foot. Luke Graham from outside grabbing Danny Davis, holding him back on the rope till the Angel can get back on his feet. Angel makes a tag on the Dream Machine. Dream with a foot to the midsection. Danny Davis on the mat. Now whipped into the rope. The Dream Machine with a foot again to the midsection. Boy, he caught him with it too. Davis grabs a headlock. Dream Machine fired him into the rope. Davis crossed the way, runs into Luke Graham's leg. Crazy Luke drops down across the back of Danny Davis. Davis in the air. Dropped across Luke Graham's knee. Tag on the Angel. Oh, Davis smacked down to the mat. Here comes the Dream Machine. We're about 5.5 minutes into this one. First fall action of an expiration of time match, and Danny Davis really taking a beating from all of the first family members over here.
Go, Danny, go!
Crazy Luke Graham back in after the tag. Up in the air, Danny Davis. Graham spins him around, drops him with a knee drop, bounces him off the top rope.
Look at him.
J.R. Jr. down there taunting him.
Beautiful.
A suplex on Davis by the Angel. Tag made in the Dream Machine coming back in. Davis moved out of the way. The Dream Machine planted his feet firmly in the air and on the turnbuckles. Davis able to get to the corner. Robert Gibson in there taking on all of them. Drop kick for the Angel. Back to work on the Dream Machine. Robert Gibson going for a sleeper. Look out. Bobby Eaton and Brown Sugar jumping in there. And disqualification has just occurred on the first family. There are now 8 people in the ring. Make that 9 as Rick Gibson arrives with looks like a carpet rake he's got. And that gets the first family on their way out of here. Disqualification, the official ruling by referee Jerry Calhoun. Obviously outside interference by Bobby Eaton and Sweet Brown Sugar. So Robert Gibson, Stan Lane, and Danny Davis are 1 fall up, an important fall up. The first fall of this expiration of time 6-man tag team match. We're going to check our time, see if we have time to get a second fall underway. We'll be back with you with all that action coming up in just a moment. Stay with us.
Time is really running out, but we're going to get in just as much as we can on this championship wrestling.
Yeah, first fall went to the team of Stan Lane, Robert Gibson, and Danny Davis. Robert Gibson came in there after a tag, and he was cleaning house when Brown Sugar and Bobby Eaton came in and interfered, so immediately the referee disqualified them. So, Stan Lane, Robert Gibson, Danny Davis, 1 fall up. Whoa. Boy, what a backdrop the Angel just put on Robert.
You're talking about the frying pan to the skillet and the grill and all of it. Boy, that's what you got right here. I was just looking. Here's the Monk tagging the big Luke Graham in there. Here's a guy in the Angel, not the Monk, the Angel tagging out the Luke in there. The Angel, huge guy himself, powerful upper body. He tags out the guy that'll tip it right at 300 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you get to the little guy, the Dream Machine, who's going to weigh in around 270.
Yeah.
So.
Really. Another backdrop, and they're messing Robert Gibson up. 3 backdrops in a row. They have pounded home on him. Ooh. Tag on Luke Graham. Big Luke reaches back, slaps it to the Angel, and the Angel comes in from behind. Bam! Man, oh man, Stan and Danny Davis are just so far away. Count of 1, 2, and Robert's out of it. We're 2 minutes away, 2 minutes. Robert Gibson down again, and Big Luke gobbles him up and slams him right back down, but a tag on Danny Davis. Danny firing. Hard for Danny to get a side headlock. Oh, look at here. We're going to end up, as the referee says, ring it. Slammed Danny out. He got down right in the middle of everybody.
He was right into Jimmy Hart and J.R. Jr. Boy, Jimmy Hart had been giving him a rough way verbally all the entire first fall. And Danny saw himself sailing out of the ring, but he looked up and I'm sure was happy to see he was standing right in the middle of Hart and J.R. Jr., but then all the rest of them came out there to grab him. All right. That was stopped by the referee, I think, for fighting on the floor. As
yeah, they disqualified the team of the Dream, the Angel, and Luke for their activities in there. And I missed the rope. I wasn't sure whether somebody pulled the rope down on Danny or not from the outside.
I don't think they did.
In any event, with all of the action that took place, it'll end up as a disqualification. We have to take time out. We've only got a minute or two, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, Channel 3's Championship Wrestling action continues in the ring in just a moment. We told you about the action Tuesday night. Big card, headlined by the final conflict, ring enclosed in barbed wire, the King and the Dutchman.
Well, Lance, you said it right. This is going to be the final conflict because, frankly, I went to the promoters and I said, look, I'm tired of wrestling Dutch Mantell. It's not doing my health one bit of good. You know, I've said a lot of bad things about Dutch Mantell, but at the same time, I've also said he is a tough individual. One of the toughest that I've ever been against. And so I said, look, let's end this thing once and for all. It's finally time to find out who is the best man in the ring. And Lance, those are the key words, because every time I've wrestled Dutch Mantell, it seems that he either throws me over the top rope or outside on the floor. He's hit me with chairs. He's run my head into the ring post. So I told the promoters, do me this one favor. Put that barbed wire all the way around the ring so that when we step into that ring, they finally put up that wire, then all it'll boil down to is Dutch Mantell looking across the ring at Jerry Lawler. There won't be any going out of the ring and hitting anybody's head in the ring post. There won't be any bringing the chairs in the ring and using them. It'll just be he and I, and we'll find out once and for all who's the better man. And if Dutch Mantell beats me with these stipulations, then he deserves to be the Southern Heavyweight Champion, and I'll be the first one to offer him my hand again and shake his hand and pat him on the back and say, Dutch, you are the Southern Champion, and we're not wrestling anymore. But I don't think he can do it, Lance, and I'm just saying this. I'm sure Dutch Mantell is proud to be the champion right now, but I want to tell you something, Dutch. That belt means more to me than you can ever imagine. And I am coming at you with every single thing that I have got in me because I want to be the Southern Heavyweight Champion again, and I've got a lot of fans out there that I feel like I've let down, and I'm going to make them proud of the King again, and I'm going to show you why they call me the King. So, Dutch Mantell, when we get in that ring, don't expect any mercy because I'm coming in there to beat you and be the champion again.
Tuesday night.
You get a little brisk activity like that 6-man, and you can't watch everything in there.
Oh, no,
and I
no
just
way.
got to tell you, I wasn't really sure, exactly what happened on the rope. They jumped him out here, and the referee said, yeah, we disqualified him on the way they ganged up on Danny down here. So
about a recap of what all we had today, Dave?
All right.
We had it.
Yes, we did. In our opening match today, we had Norvell Austin going against Eric Embry. Fine match, tough match. Austin did win it in 8 minutes, 28 seconds. Brown Sugar and Bobby Eaton were in here as a tag team against Rick McCord and Tom Maley, and they really had very little trouble in winning the match in about 5 minutes, 41 seconds. A win for Brown Sugar and Bobby Eaton in a non-title match. It was Dutch Mantell and Roy Rogers teamed against Tojo Yamamoto and the Invader, and the Dutchman and Roy Rogers looking good together as a tag team, won it in 2.5 minutes. Then the Angel, Luke Graham and Dream Machine lost to Stan Lane and Robert Gibson and Danny Davis in 2 straight falls, and they lost both of those falls on disqualifications, as first Bobby Eaton and Brown Sugar interfered in the first fall, and then the second fall to gang up on the floor here.
I don't know whether it shocks you or not, but I wasn't surprised at all.
Not a bit. No.
Not at all. We got to get it, man, but we'll be back next week with more Championship Wrestling. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.